In the chilling lexicon of the Cold War, few concepts evoke as much dread and fascination as the system known in Russia as perimeter and in the West by its more evocative moniker, Dead Hand. Often sensationalized as a fully autonomous world-ending doomsday machine, the reality of perimeter is both more complex and, in many ways, more terrifyingly rational. It represents the logical, albeit extreme, culmination of nuclear strategic thought, engineered as a technical solution to a specific and deeply feared vulnerability, a surprise decapitation strike designed to neutralize the Soviet Union's leadership. This report provides an exhaustive analysis of the perimeter system, tracing its origins from the strategic anxieties of the late Cold War to its modern-day incarnation. The analysis will first establish the historical context and strategic imperatives that led to its creation, then dissect the system's intricate technical architecture and command logic. At the core of this investigation is the assertion that perimeter renders Russia nearly impervious to nuclear attack, not physical imperviousness, but strategic. The development of the perimeter system was not a rogue initiative, but a calculated defensive response to a perceived existential threat that emerged in the 1970s and 1980s. For much of the Cold War, the nuclear balance was predicated on a grim but stable logic. An attack by intercontinental ballistic missiles would provide approximately 30 minutes of warning time. However, the development of highly accurate U.S. submarine-launched ballistic missiles, particularly the Trident C4 and later the D5, fundamentally altered this equation. These missiles could be launched from submarines patrolling stealthily off the Soviet coast, reducing the warning time to as little as 3 minutes. This radical attack time compression created a terrifying new possibility, a decapitation strike that could eliminate the entire Soviet political and military leadership before they had a chance to react. This vulnerability was a source of profound anxiety for the Soviet leadership, which was acutely aware of its own fragility, particularly during periods of illness and infirmity. This fear was amplified by what they perceived as increasingly aggressive posturing from the West. Large-scale NATO military exercises, such as Able Archer 83, were viewed with deep suspicion in Moscow. It was in this climate of fear and vulnerability that the Soviet government sought a technical solution. On August 30, 1974, the USSR Council of Ministers issued Secret Decree No. 695, 227. This officially ordered the Yuzhnoye Design Bureau in Ukraine to begin development of a backup command system. This system was perimeter. After more than a decade of development and testing, the perimeter system was placed on combat duty in January 1985. Contrary to its portrayal in popular culture as a rogue artificial intelligence, the perimeter system is a complex, multi-stage command and control architecture with deliberate sequential logic. Perimeter is designed to make its own independent assessment of whether Russia is under full-scale nuclear attack, using a network of ground-based sensors that detect the physical effects of nuclear detonations. This network includes seismic sensors to detect ground shock, radiation sensors to measure gamma radiation spikes, air pressure sensors for atmospheric overpressure, and light sensors for nuclear fireballs. A critical and often misunderstood aspect of perimeter is that it is not fully autonomous. The final decision to launch is made by human duty officers stationed in deep, heavily fortified underground command bunkers. These officers are believed to be located at sites like Kosvinsky Kamen in the Ural Mountains, designed to survive a direct nuclear attack. Once authorization is given, perimeter launches specialized 15 A-11 command rockets, modified ICBMs designed not for destruction but for communication. These rockets carry the 15 B-99 command and control head unit, containing a powerful radio transmitter, launched on high-altitude ballistic trajectories at an apogee of around 4,000 kilometers. From this commanding position, high above the chaos of a nuclear battlefield, the payload broadcasts continuous launch commands and authorization codes to surviving weapons systems. These signals are received by special antennas on surviving ICBMs in hardened silos, mobile road-based launches, and potentially strategic bombers and submarines. The true power of the perimeter system lies not in its hardware, but in its strategic and psychological impact. Its primary function is to make Russia's nuclear deterrent threat perfectly credible. The entire edifice of nuclear deterrence rests on a country's credible second strike capability, the assured ability to absorb a nuclear first strike and still inflict unacceptable retaliatory damage. Perimeter elevates this capability to near absolute certainty. It eliminates the primary vulnerability of centralized command structure, ensuring retaliation even if the entire leadership is dead. Beyond deterring adversaries, perimeter serves a crucial internal function. It acts as a psychological buffer, preventing hasty launch decisions by Russia's own leadership. Imagine a crisis where Russian early warning systems indicate a massive incoming strike. Leadership would be under unbearable pressure to launch immediately before their missiles are destroyed. With perimeter, leadership can activate the system and wait for confirmation, secure that retaliation is guaranteed even if they are killed, reducing the likelihood of accidental war. The perimeter system is not a static relic of the Cold War. Evidence indicates it remains a functional and evolving component of Russia's strategic posture, modernized for a new era of great power competition. In 2011, General Sergei Karakayev explicitly confirmed the system exists and is operational. More recently, Putin has highlighted construction of absolutely secure and highly survivable command facilities. There is compelling reason to believe perimeter is being upgraded to integrate with Russia's newest strategic weapons, including hypersonic delivery vehicles like the Avangard. A growing global dead-hand system market points to a new arms race in automated strategic systems, with Russia incorporating AI-driven command protocols and advanced threat verification algorithms. The goal is to improve the system's resilience, speed, and reliability against complex 21st century threats, including sophisticated cyber and electronic warfare. Continued investment in perimeter, alongside modernization of all three legs of the nuclear triad, including new Sarmat ICBMs and Borai-class submarines, sends an unambiguous signal. The perimeter system embodies the central paradox of nuclear deterrence. It is designed to prevent war through credible threat of absolute destruction, yet its existence introduces profound risks. The system's greatest vulnerability is potential for false alarm. History is replete with incidents where technical malfunctions or natural phenomena have been misinterpreted as missile attacks. A sufficiently complex combination of erroneous data, for instance a large meteorite impact generating seismic and overpressure signals, could potentially satisfy perimeter's activation criteria. The modernization of perimeter introduces new vulnerabilities. As the system incorporates AI and becomes more networked, it becomes a more attractive target for novel forms of attack. Cyber warfare could introduce malicious code to disable the system or trigger false launches. AI integration opens doors to data poisoning and adversarial attacks on algorithms. Information warfare could create false impressions of imminent strikes, pressuring Russian leadership to activate perimeter during tense crises, dramatically increasing accidental launch risks. Perimeter represents both the ultimate guarantor of deterrence and its greatest risk. It ensures that nuclear war remains unwinnable while creating new pathways to accidental catastrophe. As this technology potentially proliferates to other nuclear powers, the philosophy behind perimeter may increase global instability, with multiple nations pursuing similar failed deadly capabilities. The dead hand remains humanity's most terrifying insurance policy, a system designed to prevent the unthinkable by making it mutually assured.